There are places in the world where nothing ever seems to happen. Small towns where life follows a pattern, morning routines, familiar faces, quiet nights. Places where children ride bicycles without fear, where parents believe they understand the world well enough to protect the people they love. Hawkins was one of those places, a town that believed it was safe, until one ordinary night when something extraordinary broke through reality without warning. It began with a boy riding his bicycle home. The road was empty. The streetlights hummed softly above him. The air was colder than usual. At first, nothing felt wrong. Then came the feeling, that quiet instinct deep in the chest, the sense that something unseen was watching. He pedaled faster, his breathing grew uneven. The forest beside the road felt closer, darker, alive. Lights flickered. The sound of the world seemed to fade. And then, he was gone. By morning, Hawkins woke up confused, not yet knowing that the rules of reality had already changed. Parents searched, friends waited, authorities promised answers. But the truth was buried deep beneath the town, hidden behind concrete walls and locked doors. Below Hawkins was a laboratory, a place built on secrecy, on ambition without limits. Cold hallways, harsh white lights, rooms where silence felt enforced. Inside that place lived a child. She did not have a name, only a number. Her head was shaved, her voice was quiet. Her eyes carried a weight far too heavy for her age. She had never known freedom, never known comfort. She had been taught control before kindness, obedience before love. And when she focused, the world obeyed. Objects moved, lights shattered, walls trembled. Her power fascinated the adults around her, but they never saw her as human. To them, she was a resource, a weapon. But she was only a girl. When she escaped, she ran into the night with nothing but fear and instinct guiding her. Rain fell as she moved through the forest. Bare feet hit cold earth. Branches scratched her skin. Searchlights swept the darkness behind her. Men shouted commands. Dogs barked in the distance. She hid, alone, terrified, for the first time in her life. She was free. Meanwhile, four boys refused to accept the loss of their friend. They searched not because they were brave, but because loyalty left them no choice. Armed with bicycles, flashlights, and belief, they followed instincts adults ignored. They talked about monsters long before they ever understood what that meant. And when they found the girl, everything changed. She didn't speak much, but when she did, the world listened. Through her, they learned the truth, that Hawkins had a shadow, a place beyond sight, beyond reason, a world that existed alongside reality, twisted and decayed. The upside down, a reflection of fear, of trauma, of grief left to rot. Buildings stood broken. The air was poisoned. Vines crept across everything like veins. And something lived there. Not a simple creature, but a predator shaped by darkness. It watched, it waited, it hunted those who were alone. As time passed, the town began to change. What once felt familiar became dangerous. What once felt safe became uncertain. Children grew older faster than they should have, their laughter slowly replaced by caution. A selfish teenager learned responsibility when protecting others became more important than popularity. A hardened sheriff, shattered by past loss, learned how to love again, and how painful love can be. The girl learned what it meant to be human. She learned friendship, trust, sacrifice. But every lesson came with a cost. The darkness didn't disappear, it adapted. Each return was stronger, smarter, crueler. The upside down was no longer reacting, it was planning. Loss became unavoidable, friends were taken, minds were scarred, memories became weapons. The real horror was not the monsters, it was watching innocence fade. It was realizing that adults often fail to protect what matters most. That authority can hide evil, that silence can be deadly. The darkness was not just another world, it was a mirror a mirror of depression, of grief, of the pain people buried deep inside. And eventually, the truth emerged. The darkness had a face, a past, a purpose. It wasn't random. It was the result of choices, curiosity without limits, power without responsibility. The final chapters demanded everything. Childhood ended completely. Survival required sacrifice. The town cracked. Reality fractured. And yet, even as the world fell apart, something endured. Connection. Friends holding hands in the dark. Voices crackling through radios. Promises made when hope felt fragile. Stranger Things is not just about monsters. It's about growing up, about realizing the world is darker than we imagined, and choosing to face it anyway. It's about the fear of losing those we love and the strength found in standing together.